Good afternoon, everybody. How are you all? Today we are going to talk about hypothesis test for proportion. So I'll share my screen with you. Hmm. A marketer believes that 92% of adults in US have cell phones. A survey with 200 randomly chosen adults show that 178 of them have cell phones. Is the marketer's hypothesis correct? Use 0.05 level of significance. So, solution. Given from the survey, n is equal to 200. This is sample size. And X number of people who have number of successes or number of people with cell phones. People with cell phones. Now, our null hypothesis 80 is P is equal to 0.92. This is P is population proportion. Population proportion. And this is my null hypothesis. And my alternate, some people call it HA, some people call it H1, this is my alternate. P not equal to 0.92. Okay, so I will do the long way as well as the short way. So the using formula. Test statistic. Z measures how far the sample proportion is located away from the hypothesized population proportion in terms of proportion. It's a PRO proportion in terms of standard deviation of the population. Of standard deviation of the population. Okay. So P0 is the hypothesized population proportion. And that is equal to 0.92. My p hat, which is the sample proportion, is x over n. X is number of people with cell phone in the survey divided by 200. And that is equal to 0.89, right? 178 divided by 200 is 0.89. Now, standard deviation of the sampling distribution. Standard deviation of the sampling distribution is given by square root of p times 1 minus p divided by n. Okay, so that will be equal to 0.92 times 1 minus 0.92 divided by my sample size of 200. So how do I do it in my calculator? Second button, then x square button will give me the square root. Inside the square root, 0.92 left parenthesis, 1 minus 0.92 right parenthesis, all inside the square root, divided by sample size of 200, and then enter. Okay. So second, x square gives me the square root. Inside the square root, 0.92 left parenthesis, 1 minus 0.92 right parenthesis divided by n is 200. And that is equal to, so standard deviation of sampling distribution. Sampling distribution is equal to 0.019. Okay, so now I am ready to calculate the test statistics. So test statistic, where I'm comparing the sample proportion to the hypothesized population proportion. So my sample proportion, I have already calculated 0.89 minus 0. Hypothesized population proportion is the proportion in the null hypothesis divided by the standard deviation of the sampling distribution, which is 0.019. So in my calculator, I can calculate this as left parenthesis 0.89 minus 0.92, right parenthesis divided by 0.019, enter, equal to minus 1.579. That's your test statistic. Now, this is, remember, our null hypothesis is 80. P equal to 0.92 and alternate is P not equal to 0.92. So this is a two-tailed test. That is the rejection region of the null hypothesis falls in both the left and right tail. Can fall in both the tails, either the right tail or the left tail. So let's calculate. Let me create some space. What is the area under the standard normal curve? To the left of minus 1.579. So remember the picture diagram of the standard normal curve. So this is z is equal to 0 in the center, negative value minus 1.579 when we here, and we want to find the area to the left of that. So in my calculator, I press second verse button in the third row and then scroll down to normal CDF. So second verse number 2 is normal CDF, lower is minus 1 E99. That means a very large value on the left hand side, somewhere over here. Minus 1 E99, lower. Okay. So it's already in my calculator set as minus 1 E99. Otherwise, you can press the negative sign next to enter, then 1, then second button, comma button on top of 7 button. That will give you the small capital E 99. Upper is minus next to enter 1.579. So upper is minus 1.579. Mean is 0 because standard normal curve. So this is the standard normal curve and sigma is 1. And then paste. Whenever you want paste, you have to hit enter and enter twice. So we can create some more space. So area to the left of minus 1.579 is 0.1. So since this is a two-tailed test, p-value is twice the area, or 2 multiplied by 0.1, which is 0.2. What is p-value? P-value is the probability of getting a test statistic as extreme as what we have obtained. So compare p-value with alpha. My p-value is 0.2. My alpha is 0.05. So P is greater than 0.05. Decision: do not reject 80. Reject 80. And when it is more space. Conclusion is at alpha equal to 0.05. Alpha means level of significance. There is not enough evidence to support H1. Not enough evidence to support H1. Support H1, which states P is not equal to 0.9. So that is the long way of doing it. What is the short way? Short way with TI 84. Okay, so create some space. Maybe I should erase some of this line. Went to it. Short way with TI 84. Okay, so first we press the stat button in the calculator. Then we highlight on the top row, bring the cursor on test. Okay, and then scroll down to one prop Z test. Prop stands for proportion, is equal to proportion. One proportion Z test. Okay, so stat, then highlight test, then scroll down to one prop Z test. Okay, so my P0 is 0.92. Okay, my X is 178. My N is 200. Okay, and my alternate is, the fourth line is alternate. So bring the cursor on not equal to P0 and hit enter. And then go down on calculate. So one prob Z test, P0 is the hypothesized. This is the null hypothesis. Null hypothesis value. Hypothesis value. My X is number of successes, number of cell phones, 178, sample size is 200, and my alternate is prop not equal to P0. This is the alternate hypothesis. Alternate hypothesis. Net hypothesis. Okay. And then you go down on calculate. Okay, and hit enter. Okay. Okay. So the test statistic. Okay, so let's move this out. Let's move this out. And the Z is the test statistic. Is minus 1.563, very close to what we obtained before. And the p-value is 0.118. They did not multiply it by 2. So compare p-value with alpha. Alpha, remember, is 0.05 given. So p is greater than alpha. So my decision is do not reject H0, same as before. And conclusion is at alpha is equal to 0.05. There is not enough evidence, not enough evidence to support H1, which states P not equal to 0.90. Okay, I'll stop here today. If you have any question, comment, write me a note. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Please share this video with your friends if you like it. And you and your friends, please subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button at the bottom right corner. I'll come back next time with another interesting problem, interesting solution. Take care. Have a nice day.